Good evening. That was quite a mouthful, wasn't it? That's what theses do. All right. Yeah. So, over the past decade, I've been curating exhibitions focused on multisensory encounters, often featuring food-based art. So in this talk, I will be focusing on two major projects, Sugar Sugar and Reminiscent, that present artworks positioning the reception of art towards an active multisensory body. So I first became interested in the capacity for sensory engagement to capture the interest of audiences during an exhibition I curated in 2012 titled Art and Food Beyond the Still Life. So the show included a range of media, including photography, painting, sculpture, and installation art. So one particular work, sculpture by Ken and Julia Yonatani, made with Murray River salt, carried an almost briny scent that perfumed the gallery space. I was struck by the way gallery visitors would seek me out to discuss their impressions of the work and reflect on the associations the scent triggered. So in this moment, I realized the power of sensory encounters in generating this reflective state, and I became curious about the subjective bodily involvement of audiences. So moving forward, my curatorial practice centered on artworks orienting the body as a perceptual site for interpretation and introspection. So I decided to focus on food-based art in my next show, and in 2013 I curated Sugar Sugar, involving 10 female artists using sugar as the primary medium of their work. I designed the project to engage audiences through participatory, multisensory, and interactive performance art. So one of the strategies I used in curating a show of edible artworks was to select installations that were intentionally ephemeral. So two of the works were installed outside of the main gallery space to draw visitors inside to see the full exhibition. So on the left there's Shelley Miller's mural of sugar tiles and food dye was installed outdoors on the facade of the building. So the artwork dissolved due to exposure to the elements, and you can see the work on the left on day 1, and on the right, day 29, when it was deinstalled, when it was quite dirty and faded and starting to fall apart. So also we had Martina Bormes performing Gifting. It was a performance that involved a decorative pattern of royal icing applied to the floor, walls, and windows outside of the gallery space, so in the hallway of Dank Street. Visitors could come and watch her create the installation that was then cleaned and scraped away at the close of the show. One of the focal points of the exhibition was an interactive installation by Elizabeth Willing titled Goosebump. Her food art often encourages audience participation, and Goosebump, made with over 300 ginger biscuits attached to the wall with royal icing, exemplifies this tendency. She uses the icing like plaster, carefully smoothing it onto the wall to conceal the presence of the biscuit. She was explicit in her instructions regarding the artwork invigilation. Gallery staff were not to direct visitor interactions. Instead, they were left to explore and use their senses to discover the hidden confections on their own. To interact with the work and eat a biscuit, a participant placed their lips around the white mound and would carefully use their teeth to pry it away from the wall, and that's me. Over the course of the exhibition, the installation evolved to display half-consumed biscuits scattered across the wall. Noticeably, some worked together by sitting or standing on one another's shoulders to reach the biscuits up top. In this manner, visitors formed a social circle by working cooperatively to reach and consume the confection, suggesting that they were receptive to the social dimension implicit in many food artworks. In 2018, I curated Reminiscent at Mayspace, an exhibition of olfactory artworks exploring the relationship between scent and memory. One work by Liz Henderson studies the link between language and scent through an installation of what she calls scent stations. Her scent stations contain typewriters and perfume vials at varying heights. To interact with the work, visitors were encouraged to uncap the vial, smell the scent, and type up any observations, thoughts, or memories they may have. We found that this work provoked intensely personal sense memories in some participants. One scent induced the following responses: my pillow at Nanny's house when I was little, Auntie Irene, and Nana and Pa's toilet. Notably, the responses referred to people important to the participant. They were likely not actively thinking about their family, yet their encounter with the work evoked such memories. Because scent is a gaseous material with no fixed boundaries, the show required problem-solving some display solutions. Janet Tavner, for example, presented her sugar sculpture housed under a glass cloche that a visitor would lift to smell the artwork. Again, me. Other techniques employed to contain the scents and keep them from overlapping were perfume bottles and customized vessels. On the right, you can see Jane McSweeney, her smell monica, a device she created to synthesize a song into a distinct fragrance. Continuing my research into the senses and memory, I'm working on an exhibition for Fairfield tentatively titled Remembrance of Taste Past. It will explore how food-based art can act as a channel between a subject's past and present, activating memories, connecting people to a shared cultural experience or place. The working title refers to Marcel Proust's Remembrance of Things Past, where he describes a memory induced by the taste of a tea-soaked cake. And anthropologist David Sutton's book, Remembrance of Repasts, that examines sense memories as a form of cultural memory. Comprised of videos, sculpture, and a tasting workshop by Lindsay Kelly, and a commissioned project that Dylan Go will be speaking about next, the exhibition will aim to ignite conversations around culture, identity, and representation by way of taste on the tongue. Thank you.